Just over 14 hours before polls will open. Nigerians are optimistic to go to the polls and elect leaders who will pilot the affairs of the nation in the next 4 years. Thanks for joining us on the program. Do follow us on social media using the hashtag TVC Countdown 2023. I am Abosedi Adeniran. Now let's take you through the process of voting. Note that accreditation and voting commence at 8:30 in the morning. Eligible voters are to come to the polling unit with their permanent voter cards, get accredited using the BVAS machine, either through thumbprint or facial recognition. Now, after accreditation, the voter will be given the ballot paper to vote in secret. Note that voting ends at 2:30 p.m. and that's until the last person that joined the queue has voted at the aforementioned time. That is, if you got to the queue before 2:30 p.m., you have the opportunity to cast your ballot. Now, another matter. The Independent National Electoral Commission has suspended the Enugu East Senatorial Election following the killing of a candidate, Oyibo Chuku. The electoral body says the rescheduled date is now 11th of March 2023. This comes as President Muhammadu Buhari condemns the gruesome killing of Mr. Chuku and his personal aide. In a statement by Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, the President expressed the belief that the perpetrators of the ignoble act in Okunano, Enugu South local government area of Enugu State, have no respect for human life and dignity, and therefore deserve the wrath of natural and divine justice. President Buhari affirmed his commitment to an election that is devoid of violence and rancor. He reminded all political actors that it is the choice of the electorate that count. Therefore, all eligible Nigerians should boldly exercise their civic rights without any fear of intimidation. Our correspondent, Mian Akiri, who has been monitoring development in Enugu State, has a report.
INEC on Friday began the distribution of sensitive materials to different parts of Enugu State ahead of the presidential and National Assembly election. According to INEC, Enugu State has a total of 2,112,000 registered voters. However, 1,999,583 persons collected their PVC in the states. Assassination of a politician, Oyibo Chuku, in the eastern part of Enugu State on Wednesday. There are fears ahead of the election.
Personally, I'm not happy. Likewise, every other person in Enugu, people are not happy.
I also need to encourage the good people of Enugu to also come out and exercise their franchise.
I'm worried, and especially the critical nature of this election.
The family told newsmen on Friday that the state government is yet to react to his deaths.
Find it curious that a whole 2 days after Chief Oyibo Chuku, the Owelo of Enugu state government has not deemed it important to condemn the killing and the killing of his PA.
Are we good to go?
General Commanding Officer, Nigerian Army, 82 Division Headquarters in Enugu State, Major General Aminu Shinade, has called on residents to come out en masse to vote.
This note, I would therefore like to urge our brothers and sisters in the Southeast, in particular, to come out en masse to exercise their franchise without any fear or fear of molestation. We are fully prepared and we have been fully resourced.
The Nigerian Army has assured that they've deployed their men to several areas in the Southeast for the safety of lives and properties. Mian Akiri, TVC News, Enugu.
On the countdown for more updates. Mian, the sad incident involving Mr. Oyibo Chuku, the president has now directed that perpetrators of this act be brought to book. What has been the effort of security agencies concerning this matter?
Well, in the last 48 hours, about a day after the death of Oyibo Chuku, a politician in Enugu State, I must confirm that the Commissioner of Police in the state, Ahmed Amani, made a press release where they alleged that IPOB is responsible for the death of Oyibo Chuku. And at this point in time also, they said that investigation is still ongoing, and they've also declined to talk to journalists on camera because we went to the police station and tried to get the attention of the Commissioner of Police through the PRO, but then they've declined talking to journalists and newsmen on camera, and they said in their press release 48 hours ago that IPOB is responsible, for the death of Oyibo Chuku. But in Enugu State, as we speak, as we look forward to the general election this weekend, INEC chairman earlier today in the federal capital confirmed the postponement of the senatorial election in Enugu East. But at this point in time, we understand that it will be holding same day when the governorship polls will be holding in Enugu State, that is the 11th of March. So that's the situation as far as this is concerned. But then let me also quick to add that the family members of Oyibo Chuku spoke to newsmen earlier today in Enugu, where they expressed, their worry ahead of the election. Part of what was also said is the fact that the state government is yet to indeed say anything concerning the death of a politician like Oyibo Chuku in the state. And when I also went round town, spoke to residents in Enugu State, they expressed fears ahead of the general election, that is the presidential and also National Assembly elections coming up this weekend. But then the General Commanding Officer, it's to Division of the Nigerian Army, talking about Aminu Chimade, he told journalists that they've deployed soldiers to different parts in the southeast. We can confirm on good authority that about 300 soldiers came into Enugu State and they were deployed to different parts, joining those who are on ground here to different parts in the southeast, in the southeastern parts. And this is called Operation Safe Conduct. The Nigerian Army, the Navy, the police, and also the civil defense are working together in hostile environments like the southeast, because there have been attacks over the years, and they hope to indeed nip this as far as the election is concerned. But I must say that persons are not sleeping with their two eyes closed as we look forward, to the general election this weekend.
And this is such a comprehensive report from Enugu State there. Thank you for that update. We'll talk to you some other time. Well, quickly, let's now give you an update from our correspondents in Katsina and River State. But we'll begin from Katsina State. Few hours to the polls, Nigerians are preparing to participate in the 7th uninterrupted democratic elections in the country. And President Muhammadu Buhari will be casting his ballot in Daura, Katsina State. Let's now join our correspondent Femi Akonde, who is in Katsina, to give us updates. Many thanks for joining us. Femi, talk us through the feelings and expectations of Nigerians in Katsina State ahead of the polls.
3 million registered voters across the country. People in Katsina State, registered voters in Katsina State, are also looking forward to the voting the presidential election that will come up tomorrow, the 25th of February. Here in Katsina State, the number of registered voters is about 3.5 million, with 3.4 million of this out of this number are collecting their PVCs. That is about a 98% success rate of PVCs collected here in Katsina State. It also shows the level of awareness among registered voters here in Katsina State. The people here are politically conscious. They eagerly await the opportunity to again go to the ballot. And this is the home state of President Muhammadu Buhari. And for the people of Katsina State, this election is peculiar because this will be the 5th successive election in Nigeria that President Muhammadu Buhari will not be participating. You know, he participated in the 2003 election, the 2007 election, 2011 election, before he eventually won on the ballot in 2015 and was re-elected in 2019. So this is the first time in 5 successive elections out of the 7 successive elections since Nigeria's return to democracy in 1999 that President Muhammadu Buhari will not be on the ballot. But one promise President Muhammadu Buhari has made as the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces and outgoing President of the Federal Republic is that his administration will do everything to ensure that a conducive environment is provided for the conduct of the polls. So far, he says his administration has supported the Independent National Electoral Commission, provided funds, logistics, and all it would take for the electoral umpire to conduct an election that will be free, fair, and credible. He also urged Nigerians, politicians, and political parties to accept the result of this election. Abosede.
All right, Femi, thank you for bringing us an update from Katsina State there. Wishing you a great stay, and we'll talk to you some other time. Well, our correspondent in River State, Uche Okoro, is monitoring the situation in Port Harcourt. He now brings us a report from there.
River State has about 3.5 million registered voters, topping the ranking in the South and about the 4th highest in the country. This large voting strength has tested INEC's capacity in the past, but this time, the Commission says it has deployed sufficient equipment to the polling units. This includes biometric voter accreditation systems and backups to speed up the voting process and eliminate credibility issues. INEC will also be conducting election in the 23 local government areas with staff strength of 29,000.
We have the 6,865 beavers being distributed to the number of polling units in the state. These beavers number have been distributed since yesterday. What you saw them distributed now is what we call backup beavers. They are 430 beavers as backup beavers. In case anyone fails, immediately we'll activate those ones.
INEC doesn't only promise quick and easy voting, it also assured the electorate of their safety.
Police, we have about 17,000 men to police this election in River State. And you could see when you came in here, you saw how they are strategically deployed to take care of this state office. So also our local government offices, our RAC centers, our collation centers, and the polling units will be well manned. So we have the assurance from the military, from the security agencies that the elections will be free and fair. There will not be intimidation.
The Independent National Electoral Commission has also reiterated that according to the Electoral Act 2022, only those who present their permanent voters' cards will be allowed to vote. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port Harcourt.
Shortly, I'll be speaking with Uche Okoro for more updates from Port Harcourt in River State. But before that, we'll take a breather. Stay with us. You're watching Countdown Nigeria Decides 2023 on TVC News. Let's now bring in our correspondent in River State, Uche Okoro, for updates, the situation report in that state. Uche, we understand 29,000 INEC staff are on election duty in Rivers State, but are the people actually optimistic about coming out tomorrow to cast their ballots?
Oh, well, yeah, definitely people are optimistic to come out and do just that. You know that this election is special, even though this is not the first election, of course, but it's a very special one because of the nature of the politics that has been played in the state in the last few months. So based on that, people are very optimistic. People are actually curious to see how the pendulum is going to swing, and therefore they want to be part of history that will be made in the next few weeks and the next few hours. So a lot of residents of the state are certainly excited to come out to cast their vote in the 23 local government areas of Rivers State.
And very quickly, what's the situation, the security situation there?
Right now, as you may have guessed, I'm right now in the headquarters of the Rivers State Police Command here in Moscow Road, Port Harcourt, where the police has just spoken to us to, give us another update on their preparedness to ensure that security is guaranteed here in the state. Yesterday, the police spoke to us, and barely 24 hours, we are back here to get another update. So it shows you that the security agencies are not intending to leave anything to chance. As you may know, security apparatus, the election security apparatus is a joint effort by the military, the paramilitary, the road safety, federal fire service, and so on. But the police is the lead agency, and as the lead agency, they have promised that they are on top of their game. They have also reassured that they will be apolitical. We also, according to what the INEC resident electoral commissioner said during my interview with him earlier in the day, he hinted that the police has deployed 17,000 police officers to provide security here in the state. So everyone is quite prepared from this end.
It's good to know that preparations are in top gear there. Thank you, Chikoro, for that update from Rivers State.